Hi and welcome to this video which introduces release 32 of Alpha Tracker, the software for asbestos consultancies, environmental consultancies and anyone with an interest in asbestos. I'm Robin, I'm one of the directors here at Start Software, and we're living in very strange times, of course. We're in the fourth week, I think, of so-called lockdown here in the UK due to coronavirus, and I know around the world the situation is very similar. We know from talking to our asbestos consultancy clients that many of you are finding life tough at the moment. It's very difficult to gain access to buildings. Companies are choosing not to do what they consider to be sort of optional work. So I know many of you are finding it tough. I just want to reassure you that we're still here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our support line is fully operational as usual. Of course, we are all working from home at the moment, or mainly working from home. And we will be here for you when we come out the other side. I can absolutely reassure you that Alpha Tracker and Start Software will be here when we come out the other side of the coronavirus crisis, no matter how long that will be. We're thinking of you. We know that many of you are now finding ways to work and that you're finding ways to be productive. And it looks like, certainly from the news in the last few days, that we are starting to see the UK government and governments around the world starting to put plans in place to release restrictions to the economy. And I'm sure we'll be out of this soon. But we are thinking of you. So back to Alpha Tracker, release 32. Unbelievably, this is software version 4240, which means there's been 502 changes since release 31. Incredible. Whole mixture, as normal, of new features, bug fixes, performance changes, security updates, all sorts of things. Kim's release notes, which she always does, of course, are complete. Here we have this set. I'll make sure there's a link on the blog so that you can access these yourself. We do recommend that you read them carefully and that you print them out and keep them alongside your quality manual. And they list in detail all of the updates in this release. However, there is a sort of theme to this release, and that's what I want to just briefly cover now for the next minute or two. This release we're calling the calendar update, or the scheduling update, and there are lots and lots and lots of new features and improvements to do with the calendar. Now, in case you don't know how the calendar works in Alpha Tracker, perhaps you don't use it at the moment, it's always been in the software and it's always been a key part of the software, and it enables you to drop jobs onto diaries so that you can schedule work right within the system, see those calendar updates in Google Calendar or Microsoft Exchange so that it's very easy to distribute work. You haven't got to email people or tell them. They can just look on their smartphones and they'll see the calendar there and what they should be doing. And it's always worked very well in the system. But we've taken the opportunity to take all of the ideas, all the feedback from all of our customers and really fine-tune that calendar in this release. And I think some great new features. Let me show you a couple of them. So if I bring up my own diary, just to use as the example, and I book an appointment on, so I just drag and drop as normal just to set the appointment. Now I know the project number I'm going to use. You can always search, of course, if you don't know the project number. You'll notice the mapping's quicker, and you may notice if you're a regular user that this screen is actually slightly different. So let me just make myself a bit smaller. The address now is at the top right. The map is showing slightly differently. The routing section is slightly different. You've got a couple of extra features like add other resource, but the whole dialogue has just been tidied up a little bit and moved around a bit. So first thing we'll do is we'll actually have a look at this add other resource link. This is incredibly useful. So if you've got a job which has got more than one person on attending site, very typical with a survey, of course, you might have a lead surveyor and an assistant surveyor. You can actually add them to this appointment at the point of the time of booking the appointment. So I can just add Dan and Kim, for example, and put them straight in the appointment. And it tells me there that I've added 2 others. Previously, so I'll just save that away. Previously, I'd have had to have saved the first appointment, clicked to edit it, and then repeated it for the other people. Now you can just do it straight from within the dialogue. And when you open the appointment to edit, you'll see that it actually comes up and tells you who else is associated with this this appointment. Really useful. We use Alpha Tracker ourselves within our own company to run our company, even though obviously we're not asbestos surveyors, we're a software company. And already we found that to be a massive time saver. Reopening the appointment, you can see a few things have changed. The map is now showing a bit smaller. And that's because we've now got the changelog showing. So the changelog shows you all of the changes that have happened to this particular appointment. Again, something that's bugged us over the years is sometimes you look in your diary and you see an appointment, you think, well, who put that in? I don't remember putting that in. Someone put it in for me. Or an appointment's moved and nobody will admit to moving it. Now you can see exactly who's changed an appointment and when. So if I'll just close the appointment. If I just drag this appointment to change the time, to drop it in, say at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and now I bring the appointment up, you'll see the changelog shows that I moved the appointment with a drag and drop. Yeah, so I added it, then I moved it. Click these links and you get more information about the change, exactly when the appointment was moved from and to. So you've got that confidence that you always know why an appointment's in a diary and who's put it there and who's moved it. So really, really useful feature. The routing, by the way, I don't think people make enough use of the routing. We've made it sort of a bit more obvious and a bit easier and a bit more sort of interactive. So this is usually Google Maps routing, so you can see how far you're sending somebody to a job, and it will work from home postcode, office postcode, or the previous appointment if they've got more than one appointment in the day. So very useful features there. Other useful features that perhaps you just want to explore in your own time, so I don't make this video too long. Make a suggestion which looks for the best person for the job, who's nearest, which finds the nearest person to a job, and you can even now, if I go to select resource, you can even pick a number of people and map their appointments for a range of dates instantly. A really cool new feature and something that we're hoping is going to be useful when you're trying to work out who's best to attend a particular job. So there you go, just highlighting some there of the new calendar features in release 32 of Alpha Tracker. I hope that's been useful. We're doing a half release. There'll be a 32.5 release coming up very shortly, probably within the next 3 weeks, which is focusing on a brand new fibre analysis screen. So aimed specifically at labs using Alpha Tracker. We've really improved it for efficiency, for layout, for flexibility. So look out for that. Like I say, probably 2 to 3 weeks away. And in these strange times, I'll just sign off and stay safe.